In this video clip, what was the patient experiencing? Hello Emma, how's
Hello,
things?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really good. I had a fabulous day yesterday. I went to the park, um, I fed the ducks, and I saw a little cute goodle swat. Yeah,
Oh,
it was really good, really good.
what was that? What was that word?
Oh,
Sorry?
it's a goodle swat. It's
What?
like a little cute little animal. It's
Oh,
so
right.
cute. Yeah, I go and see it now and again, and so it's not always there, but when it is, it's great.
Oh,
Have a good day. Yeah,
it lives in the park.
yeah, it lives in the park
How
under the
often
little
have,
bushes.
how often have you seen one of these then?
Oh, I've seen it a few times now, yeah. Sometimes I go there especially just to see it because it's so cute.
Right.
Yeah.
In this video clip, the patient appears to have made up a word that is not in the English language. She talked about this animal called a goodleswat. This is a neologism, a word that is entirely made up. Could you tell me what this patient is experiencing? Okay, Emma, have you got any major plans or big ideas at the moment?
Well, yeah, I've been chosen. God has chose me to go to like around the world, see all the world leaders and get them to change their ways about like recycling and things like that and the environment. And then I was in the park yesterday and I was walking through and it was a lovely day and all the sun's rays were beating down on me. It was beautiful. And then I saw a woman on a bench and she's quite old. My nan was old though when she passed away, but she probably had a really good life. And then I went to the hardware store yesterday, and that was really good. I bought some knives, and so I'm going to use them to to have a dinner party with all my friends. We're going to have loads of us around, and we're going to use them to chop up all the veg and things. It's going to be great.
Here the patient was presenting in a very manic way. So if you think how someone would present in terms of the mental state examination, there's evidence of pressure of speech. She's talking very quickly. There appears to be elated mood. Flight of ideas. As you can see here, she would move from one topic to another. There was a link between the different strands of thought. It wasn't completely tangential, like you would see in schizophrenia, for example. If you're not able to see the link, I would ask you to look at the video clip again. But it was definite evidence of flight of ideas. She also appeared very elated in her mood. What symptom is the patient experiencing here? Hello Emma, I believe you had a bit of an anxiety attack yesterday. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, I was out shopping. I was queuing to pay for my things, and I started to my heart was going fast and hyperventilating, and I lost control a bit, and I felt like things around me weren't real. Like it wasn't, that it wasn't quite like I used to feel. Like it didn't feel normal.
So things around you weren't real. What about yourself? How did you feel?
Uh, like it's hard to explain. It was like I wasn't real. It was like kind of like a dream. Like it was really strange.
Okay. In this video clip, the patient appears to be experiencing a symptom called derealization. She explained how she'd had what seemed to be a severe anxiety attack or a panic attack, and she went on to say that she felt the world around her didn't appear real. That is often referred to as derealization, where people often feel that the world isn't real, that they're on a stage, everything is a cardboard impersonation of the real world. Often derealization goes with another symptom called depersonalization, where the patient themselves doesn't feel real. What is the patient experiencing here? Hi Emma, I just need to check your memory, just routine test really that I do on all my patients just to see how their memory is really. And the first thing, I want you to name as many animals in the zoo as you can for me.
Lion, giraffe, hippo, hippo, hippo.
What about thinking about now vegetables? Name as many vegetables as you can.
Hippo,
Any more?
hippo.
Okay. Here, the patient is experiencing a classic frontal lobe sign, perseveration. This often gives us an idea that the frontal lobe may be damaged in some way. As you can see, I asked her to name as many animals as she could in a minute, and she repeated hippo a number of times. Then, when I went on to ask her about how many vegetables she could name in a minute, she continued saying hippo. Very difficult to shift from one thought to another. This is evidence of perseveration of speech. However, you can have perseveration of movement by asking a patient to repeat a complex motor task or a series of motor tasks. You can see if they have perseveration of movement also. What is the patient experiencing here? How have things been, Emma?
Yeah, they've been good lately. I've been going to work and getting on with my work well, and then and then coming home, and it's been all right lately. Yeah.
Emma, there's a bit of a pause there. What happened? You seem to stop talking for a while.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Here, the patient has experienced something called thought blocking. She was quite happily telling me about things, and then all of a sudden, she stopped. There was a long pause. And then she went on to continue talking about her experiences, her day. What symptom is the patient experiencing here? Hello, Emma. How have things been?
Oh, it's been really good lately. Yeah, yesterday I cleaned the house top to bottom, scrubbed everything, and it's glorious in there now. It's really, really clean, and I love it. And I can sit and watch telly, and there's no mess around me. It's great, great fun.
What's wrong? You okay?
Yeah,
You were telling me about the house
yeah.
and cleaning it. Are you okay, Emma?
Yeah, it's a bit sad.
You seemed so happy before. Here, she clearly has something called lability of mood. She appeared quite elated, and all of a sudden, her mood plummeted, and she then appeared quite low. You sometimes see this in someone who presents in a manic state. What is she experiencing here?
Yeah, my cat died the other day. Couldn't believe it. It was really sad. I thought, yeah, I know. And we buried it, and it was really sad.
You don't seem particularly sad about it now.
Yeah, really upset about it. Yeah. But yeah, really sad.
Okay. Here, she is experiencing incongruence of affect. She is talking about what would be a very sad event, the death of a pet. However, she seems quite happy about it. There's clearly an incongruence between what she's saying and how she's feeling. What type of hallucinations is this patient experiencing here? Emma, have you had any unusual sensations recently?
Yeah, I recently I've been smelling the smell of strawberries. Like wherever I go, I can just smell them, and I smelled them when I was at home. When we haven't got any strawberries, I asked like the other people I live with, and the girls hadn't smelt it either. And it was,
So you smell the strawberries, but no one appears to be smelling them when you do, and there doesn't appear to be any strawberries around when you smell them, or nothing that could, be smelling of strawberries. Is that right? Mm. And what about any other sensations, unusual sensations?
yeah. Another strange thing. I was at home and I was by myself, just watching the telly, and someone, well, like I felt a hand, like as if someone put their hand on my shoulder. But then obviously I looked around, there's no one there. It couldn't have been anybody there. But then I could feel it there though. It was really strange.
It's very unusual. Here, this lady is clearly experiencing two types of hallucinations. Olfactory. She complains of smelling strawberries. And sensory hallucinations. She mentioned she felt someone touch her on the shoulder, and when she turned round, there was no one there. I think it's important to emphasise here that when you're eliciting hallucinatory experiences, that you should not neglect the other types of senses that people have. Often people check for auditory or visual hallucinations, but they neglect other types of sensory areas. So they neglect the sense of smell or taste or touch. It's very important to always assess hallucinations in all sensory modalities.